Hi, my name is Folaromi Jesutofumi, and I'm the founder of Low Budget Engineers. So, Low Budget Engineers initially started as a group of people coming together to build projects they found interesting. So, that was my first idea. As a student of mechanical engineering, I really came into university thinking I was going to build really cool stuff like maybe, solar cars or rockets, things like that. Well, of course, Nigeria gets to you and you never get to do all of those.
A lot of people that wanted to study engineering, a good number of them were either motivated by the money that comes with engineering, the Marvel movies they watched when they were younger,
Wake up, Daddy Shum.
or they were directed by their parents that, yeah, engineering is a stable course to study. And for people that actually had expectations, coming to meet engineering in this environment that we are studying in has been quite underwhelming because, for example, we barely do any practicals, or most of the practicals that we do, they are a far throw from what these things are supposed to be. And most times, engineering graduates come out from the university and they can't really do anything. Like, they can't build anything. They know the theory, definitely, but then they can't apply the theory that they know. So when they go out to compete with global talents, they realize that we don't really know so much. Theoretically, we compete, we even excel, but practically we have the ability of someone in high school. And that's not particularly ideal.
Looking at the landscape of education and engineering education in Nigeria, we see that there is some lapses, saying that engineering is not fun or as applied as we thought it would be when some of us had the intention of going into engineering in our tertiary studies. So the idea behind LB is to make engineering fun, make engineering practical, make engineering applicable to everyday life.
We are doing something unique in Nigeria, something that is not potentially seen as a business, but something very big, because we are bringing something new that appeals to students, appeals to youth. This is a community where we are encouraging people to pick up their love for engineering.
So the idea of low budget engineering coming in is the fact that, okay, we need to bring the things that are available globally to us locally, so that by the time we have to compete, we're not exactly disadvantaged, that we don't use our disadvantage as a label that, oh, this is why we can't do it. We actually can do it, but we need to be able to push ourselves to actually get things done.
In the very, very initial stages, we were like 5 or 6, just working on projects, learning, trying to improve our skills and all of that. But over the years, it has kind of morphed into something bigger.
Fun facts, I entered low budget engineers for just the fun alone. So when Fola approached me to join low budget engineers, it was to bring in the fun, the games part of whenever we are shooting a video for low budget engineers. But yes, along the line, there were greater responsibilities that were attached to me. Fola had a vision to plan an event, and along the lines, I just felt that was not what I started and I continued doing. I joined low budget engineers, like I said, for the fun, but I stayed because there was a much more bigger vision, a much more bigger plan. Low budget engineers represented something bigger than the fun. There was a hope to inspire a lot of people to continue with their engineering goals, their engineering dreams. So I stayed basically because of that.
Funny enough, I've always been someone that told myself I'll never really have like a startup or never really work in that kind of like fast-paced environment, that I was okay with just living a pattern life. But working in LB has told me that I can handle pressure. Oh my God. Like, it has been interesting because in my role particularly, I deal with everybody that is not doing a technical role, and that is a lot of people. So I didn't know that there's going to be a lot of people management, and with people management comes with like you're handling both the work, supervising the work that they have to do, supervising them as well to make sure that they're good enough technically and good enough like mentally to be able to do the work as well. So it's been a lot of finding out more about myself, finding out more about these people, being able to see, okay, this is your strength, this is not your strength, how to help you work most ideally. So working in LB has also been interesting in the sense that, again, as an engineering person, I didn't know that there was so much that went into making a lot of these things that we see. Like, we know that it's there, but then like looking at it intricately, you don't realize that there's a lot that goes into making stuff like this. So it's been an interesting process.
So the best thing about building LB, so there are a lot of good things obviously about building LB, and I would say it's people that are the best. So whenever I'm walking on the streets or maybe going somewhere and I get to meet someone that has heard of us or has seen me on stage, just getting to speak to them and them seeing the vision and being really interested in what we are doing is always cool. And I've gotten to meet with some people in the industry, gotten to speak with people. Some of them came as speakers, some of them were just advisors for the events, just getting their ideas, seeing what we are doing, trying to key into the vision, telling us this is the direction we can go, this is how we can make it better, and all of that. So the whole process of meeting with people, rubbing off ideas, trying to build something great has been one of the best things about LB so far.
My favorite thing about LB is how it brings the global feel of technology to my fingertips. So basically, I'm the project lead and I get to like think how it thinks. I get to like work with projects, and I like how things that I see on YouTube, things that I see get work done by the likes of Makoba, like the way he talks about servo motors and how he makes like very interesting projects from them. I get to do the same. Like, I get to program something, I get to make engineering fun for myself and for people that check on my project.
Okay, so there was a time in between that I had to take a break from some activities because like I had some personal things going on. I think one thing I can't forget the fact that Fola did not message me once in 1 week. I had to text him and be like, are we okay? We've not spoken in like 1 week. And I just realized that, yeah, actually, it's very nice getting to bounce ideas off Fola a lot. Like, Fola is a very, very smart and talented person. So being able to just see him and then just be able to pick at his brain very easily is a privilege I actually really enjoy.
So something memorable from working with LB was, yes, all-nighters and rushing to meet deadlines. Being specific now, we had to pull 2 consecutive all-nighters for one of our projects, which was the self-playing guitar, because it was to be showed, it was to be exhibited at Imagination 2024, and we certainly could not disappoint. So at different points, like at 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. in the morning, while trying to debug codes and check why components are not working, and sometimes would have like the components just spark. I'll be like, we definitely can't get a replacement for this component. So we hope that the next time we connect it, it works fine. And yeah, for most cases, it worked, and thankfully we were able to exhibit the project at Imagination.
So the very first public appearance of Low Budget Engineers was Imagination events. And the event really means a lot to me, seeing that I have always wanted something, a community of people and events that brings people together, showcases a lot of the cool stuff we are building. I'm just trying to think through the maker space, the inventions, the building that people are doing on their own spare time. So there's a lot that goes into building for a specific purpose, like you want to solve a particular problem. But there's also a lot that goes into building for the love of building.
So people that were not part of the volunteers, Imagination was a beautiful success. Even to us, it was a beautiful success. But I'd say being in the team and going through everything we went through, we are really grateful for how it turned out. There were some lapses that could have been better, but I'm really grateful for how it turned out.
I don't think I've heard so many, "Obi, there's something wrong in my life," before that day. Right? So I spent a lot of time trying to just make sure everything was going according to plan. But I did catch a lot of projects after. People were telling me about it. And Fikayo mentioned the bottle feeding project. I feel like that's exceptional. When I found that someone really young had built a drone on his own, I saw a smart wheelchair, I saw a smart dustbin, I saw revamped furniture.
Where I see LB in 5 to 10 years, I see it becoming a global community. Thankfully, from Ibadan, from Lagos and environs where we had people come with their projects at Imagination, it was like a sneak peek at what I expect LBA to be in the coming years.
So one other thing I want people to see or to know, to learn from us in a couple of years is that it's very possible to build great things that have global effects, global impacts from a Nigerian African background, that just because of a lot of dysfunction in the society, maybe structures are not set up, shouldn't hinder you from being able to pursue whatever dream you have from the Nigerian or African ecosystem.